Good evening once again. You are welcome to IPOB Truth Biafra's program of Biafra Sunday School. We are your serviceable servants, bringing the voice of the truth to you from our various locations. And the truth goes to Biafrans, go to Nigerians, go to Africans, and go to the world generally. As I always say, we cannot live to survive without a truth. Slavery had become the order of the day all over the world. South Africans are planning on how to be independent from the colonial influence, from the colonial power, from imperialism, while they are dragging Malema, Julius Malema, here and there, interviewing him and wanting him to compromise from seeking the absolute freedom of his people. But is there anything wrong for Julius Malema to be demanding for the freedom of the South Africans? Is there anything wrong for the Nigerians, people of Niger, to demand for their freedom? Is there anything wrong for people to overthrow their evil satanic government? Is there anything wrong that we, the Biafrans, demand our own freedom? Is there anything wrong that people write to the United Nations, so-called, to demand for the sovereignty of their oppressed nation, of which some of the members of the UN are the people who forcibly amalgamated those nations, of which Biafra is the typical example? What is wrong with us confronting the Fulani terrorist government of Nigeria, but not confronting them with any ammunition, but confronting them with the truth and the demand that we have been so long enslaved, and if we do not do anything now, even our children, our forthcoming generations will be enslaved forever, and therefore we are demanding our freedom. Is there anything wrong with that? But why are they killing our people? They have been killing our people, and we are beginning to hear a new story. The so-called Nigerian army or police, the terrorists in the guise of looking for someone whom they claim to be an IPOB member, even if the person really is, they went to burn the person's father's home, the person's family's home. That is a new strategy to be invading us and to be destroying the properties of the Biafrans precisely, or more specifically, the properties and the economic hubs of the Igbo Biafrans. Is there anything wrong that people demand that the oppressed should be liberated, that the oppressors should be dethroned? Is there anything wrong with that? But why are the people who claim to be the world powers whatsoever support oppression? Why do they support oppression and stand against liberation of the oppressed? And that means even the so-called world powers are part and parcel of the oppressors. Why can't they allow each of the countries of the world to have independence on their own, that is to begin to determine how to live their life and develop themselves? Then if there is any need to come together, that coming together should be based on the consent of each member of the nations that will come together, and it should be a come together in which the interest of each of the nations is represented, and none of the interests should be ulterior, but they should always be helpful. Lies and deception are the strongest satanic weapon. Humanity are misled, being confused and harmed and destroyed because they never can understand the vile, that is the wiles, the tricks, the lies and the deceptions of the devil. All of the people who are liars and deceivers are satanic agents, whether they understand it or not. Some of them are pastors, some of them are bishops, some of them are so-called whatever. Even the lay Christians, the majority are liars and deceivers. We have to be honest to ourselves. Then what will you say about the politicians? Are the politicians truthful? Are the traditional rulers truthful? Are they truthful? If they are truthful, why are they championing Confucian, championing imperialism? Look at ECOWAS, championing imperialism because the Nigerians demand to be free. Now ECOWAS are now giving themselves, giving their loyalty to the imperialists from the West and from all of the nook and crannies of the world, to allowing them to invade Niger, to be killing innocent people whose offense is only to demand for their freedom. Why are the so-called African leaders so wicked, so satanic, so devilish, giving themselves, selling their soul to the devil? Ahmed Tinubu being the typical example, a man who had not been even up to 6 months in the in his robbed presidential office, had just all of a sudden become the president of the ECOWAS. Things are going underground that many people do not understand. And that is the reason God has called people like us to always stand in opposition against them, to give them unrest only with the truth. Not that we commit any crime against anybody, but we use the truth to make them uncomfortable. We use the truth to open the people's eye, and the people begin to stand firm on the ground, demanding their rights and privileges, and begin to resist oppression and the oppressors. This is exactly the things going on. And we also conscientize our people via this means of having our program, so that our people will begin to learn on how to be good citizens with the interests of their own people at heart. Because we never can tell who those who will be our leaders in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, in the next 5 years, 15 years. And if they are not well groomed today, they will be worse than the present ones we are complaining against. It is our collective responsibility to build our leaders of tomorrow. And there is no other means to keep building them apart from educating them and trying to be disciplining them as much as we can, leading them on the path of good moral development. That is what we stand for. Time will not permit me to keep on talking and talking, so I'll be able to pass the microphone to my comrades. I am your serviceable servant, Evangelist Imakalo, as you know, who hails from Abia and in Biafra land, and I domicile in the city of Valencia, Spain, from where my voice is echoed to the world. I pass the microphone to my sister comrade, Mama Patricia. Your voice to the world, and introduce yourself.
Thank you, Colin, for this opportunity given to me to talk to our people, because the time that we are living is evil, very much evil. We are the real red time. I don't know those who play the football. I think there is a time they normally call injury time, if there's anything like that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That is exactly the time that we are in. And in this very time, Biafrans, I don't think it's much a time for one to be relaxing or telling false story. You know, that moon time story. That is not the time we are in now. Because every one of us, we are seeing the scene that is played before us. And I want to know from us, Biafran, how long are we going to sit here and be dancing the dance of the dead? How long are we going to sit still and sing the songs of a stranger? How long are we going to be moping when our enemies, little by little, with different tactics and strategies, are just suffering out the life of our neighbors, of our relations and relatives, taking them one by one, and we are still watching, talking to ourselves or deceiving ourselves. It has not come to me. No, I'm not part of them. You are not part of the Inyamiri Biafrans. You are not part of the Inyamiri that they know you are. As long as you are in the eastern region, it doesn't matter how they divide and transport you to another area and give you a name that does not belong to you. Our leader, Onyendu, the prophet of God, the mandate of God, has explained this hidden agenda that the Western world had for a long decade. He has explained these secrets to us. And I know that the Bible said, for the lack of knowledge, my people perish. But when knowledge comes, that means understanding, wisdom comes. That means light is given for the person that has been sitting in ignorance and darkness. That means you are now, a real person that should begin to reason and know your right and your identity. That means your enemies, who you didn't know before, you begin to know them and know how to either, like they said in one place, if a snake comes to your house, I don't think you'll be looking at the snake, thinking that the snake will just get off. It comes softly. All you need to do is to get hold of that snake and cut it off. You don't joke with snake. You don't, but to feed the snake. Because if you do, that is to your own detriment. When you see your enemies, you don't look at your enemies, and in fact, you don't beg them. You don't make friendship with them. Enemy is enemy. God commanded the Israelites, get hold of them and eradicate all of them. He didn't say, kill the elderly ones or the men or the women and leave this. He said, everyone. Because if you leave any, that one grows to begin to breed. And the story continues. But once you cut it off, there is no more room for that evil to continue. Israel did the same. And we know of many countries that followed that commandment, that system of cleansing, to maintain their root, their race in what they're supposed to be. Biafrans, are we not tired? Every day we talk, Master has finished talking until they took him and put him where he is. Even in that dungeon, won't Mazi be a good example for you that is looking for a prophet, another prophet, to come and tell you another story? That upon his situation there, he's standing firm as a man. He is challenging his enemies. And they are confused. They are afraid and terrified about him. Enemy is also talking. Other media men, the true Biafrans, true sons who know what freedom is, are doing the exposition, explaining the things that are being, done to blindfold us. How much more lessons or teachings are you waiting to be, told before you stand on your feet as men? Let we wake up that there is no more time on our side. Biafrans, I'm asking us that we that are the children of light, we that have the civilization, the democracy before white men came to us, we are now selling off everything by cowardice, by fear, by intimidation, by things that are not called for. Because I believe we are more than this. You can see the pictures that we see in the net, in the news. The other time was a lanky looking Fulani boy. That is, if you look at them, if you search Fulani boy and an Igbo or a Biafran boy, that Biafran boy will beat the hell out of that Fulani. But now they have empowered themselves. They can now come, one or two of them, and challenge a whole village, just like our leader said. I'm just repeating what our leader said. And we are all looking and watching them. This Fulani man had the guts to cut a young man's hand. And then they moved out. We all saw it. And when we see it, we say, now, wow. That's all we can say. They say Fulani terrorists. We know they are terrorists. We know they are the killers. We know, as Nazi said, they come to take you out of your land and possess the land. We are hearing how they are kidnapping in Zamfara, Kaduna, and so many places. Women, men, and so many children. And we refuse to get up and say enough is enough. We refuse to join ourselves together because we are looking at those efulefus, those so-called stakeholders, those governors and politicians, those senators, the DOS group, the political solutionists. We are looking at the chiefs and the exes that we are giving political certificate to become chief and eze. We are looking at those businessmen that like to go and do bunkering and do other kind of services for the Nigeria. We are looking at them to tell us what to do and what not to do. When we say sit at home like other nations who did the same, they will come to tell you go to the market because there is economic empowerment. Which economic empowerment they don't want to give to you people? The palliatives that they were throwing to you like you are animal or car or fowl, where you'll be grabbing to take it to eat and then you start fighting each other. Is this the people you should listen to? The people that know that all that they can offer for you for the rest 10 years, 20 years and all that is a small bag of rice. That small bag of rice that you don't know what them and their Western terrorist colonialists, what they have mixed there to give to you to eat. When you finish eating, you fall sick with kidney problem, with heart problem, with blood problem, with even insanity. So your enemy will come and after beating you and give you a plate of food and you go to eat because you're hungry. That is just the system they want to use to camouflage whatever agenda they have. Biafra, how long are we going to be working on food as prince and slaves are on house top and we are pushing them? How long are we going to repeat what the Western world, the false education that they have brought to us and deleted the real common reasonableness of the wisdom that God put in our head? How long are we going to let go that these invaders, these murderers we know, these men that have no soul or spirit or heart, how long are we going to wait for them where we are behind, bickering among ourselves while they are taking everything? Today I saw a man, an elderly man, maybe about his 80 years old. All his youthful struggle in his life to build a house for him and his family, they came to take the son, supposedly a bad egg in the sun. Imagine terrorists, imagine evil people calling others evil. When they protect their terrorist headsmen and all on Boko Haram and give them what do they call it? What do they call that thing that they normally give them?
Amnesty.
Amnesty. Release them, send them to maybe somewhere to go and study more Islamic jihad system. And then they come back, they promote them to every post. Because they say Nigeria is there, of course it's there. But we are not fighting for Nigeria. Why do you go to struggle with something that does not belong to you and will not give you life? Why do you struggle over something that is not food and life? Even Revelation was saying that. When God was saying, why do you buy a food that is not food? Why do you spend something on something that looks to be a gold, but it's not gold, it's chaff? Come and get to the main thing, the main substance from me. That is what Biafra is to us. Not in the zoo. The zoo foundation is not good for humanity, not even for animals. The Western world, the foundation is not for any human being to be. You are taken to be a mineral resources, whether you are human being or the real mineral resources. Nigeria is a slaughterhouse of the British government and the Western world in general. What are we still sitting watching those that they have picked up to be lapdogs for them? Like in the cases of these governors that we have mentioned, all of them, Ifeanyi Uba and the rest of them, plus the DOS and their lawyer. What are we waiting for, Biafrans, that you should not rise up? David was only one man that faced his enemies because he believed in his God, because he knew his identity, because he decided to play the part that Naboth played. Never refused to give his inheritance away because it's an abomination to do so. Biafrans, today they burned the house of that elderly man because they didn't see the son they're supposed to be a member of IPOB. An IPOB family member, God nation. We are watching. One by one, they are coming to be burning houses. This is the same war they did in 1967, knowing very well that they can't go back to a second war again. Now they are doing it in this subtle way, and we are watching. We are backbiting. We are bickering and fighting ourselves instead of us to learn one good system. Leave every other egoistic or centeredness. Join together, get our land. If we get it first and send them to judgment within us, we want to have that democracy. Then we put things in order. Biafra, it's time you begin to reason the way Mazi told us to reason. You start to live off your evil thoughts. Leave it off, your selfishness, your greediness. Leave these things off. Let's get our land. Because we are dying one after the other. We don't have any other place to go. If we leave these people, not even servant will be enough word for us to use because we're already servant. My name is Patricia and I hail from Anambra. Anambra is in Biafra land, and Biafra is a nation that God has said to our leader must be restored. And I'm calling upon us. Let us be once men. Let us be once who we were before. As is still holding the line. I don't know why we should be dangling about two opinions. I want my land back. Do the same and stand. And let's get it back together. Thank you. I hand over to you, Colin.
God bless you, really good. Veteran, over to you. Take over the microphone. Talk to Biafrans, talk to humanity at large. Then introduce yourself to them while we proceed from whenever you stop.
Thank you, Inima Carlo.
God bless
Thank
you, really
you, my
good.
comrade, Mama Patricia. You are all wonderful and beautiful people. So also is the Biafran people. They are wonderful, beautiful creatures of Chukwu Biama. I salute you all, wherever you may be domiciled in this planet Earth. I salute you, my indefatigable leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I salute you, and I assure you that we are there with you and here working on the principles and road you have led. We pray that God will continue to sustain you, to strengthen you, and to free you. For no man can do that. That God of Paul, God of Peter, is still your God. And very, very soon, we will have you in our midst. I salute you, Simon Ekpa, and all the team working with you. May God continue to grant you wisdom, the true wisdom, to continue to pilot these affairs of very, very great importance. I wish you will open your eyes to the greatness of this work, so that you will give your true spirit, so that you will not be doing it on your own and believing that you and you alone is doing it. Let us continue doing it, remembering the word of the leader, the prophecy of the leader, that no man on earth can give us Biafra except him. So no man can claim or make any claim or lay any claim of giving us Biafra. Bear that in mind, you the cabinet, you Simon Ekpa. I believe we all swallow pride and do away with swollen heads and do things the way they should be done. I also want to call upon all those fighting against Simon Ekpa to put your thoughts into your whatever pocket and join him instead to realize this dream of Biafra, so that God will be proud and Onyendu will be proud, so that he will not have sacrificed in vain. This generation of Biafrans, this generation of Biafrans, this generation of Biafrans, embrace your responsibility. Embrace your responsibility, your God-given responsibility to restore Biafra. Our eternal leader suffered and sacrificed a lot for this great nation. Some others have, by design of or implication, tried to copy, but failed along the line because their hearts were not pure. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on the mandate of Chukwuemeka Abịama with the double portion of the eternal leader, D. Montego Chukwu, and has fought and has sworn in the name of Chukwuemeka Abịama to restore this great nation. So sad that all that gathered around him at the time were evil men, were selfish men, were envious men, jealous, were treacherous men. We are hypocrites. We are men who wanted to rise on the sweat of others. Untruthful men, insincere men. Little did the messenger of God know initially, but when he got to know, he, like Jesus, told us, some of you will sell us. Just like Jesus said, one of you. He told us, some of you. And indeed, some of us told him. And are still priding ourselves all over the place today, pretending to be doing something when they are doing absolutely nothing. And so far, the people who should know still romance them, still will not stand on the truth, still will cover the truth, doing the deed of their fathers, the devil. This generation of Biafrans, our task is to get Biafra. Our task is the nation Biafra. To free our leader and to restore this kingdom of God here on earth. We cannot do it dividedly. We can do it unitedly. And this is why I call you again to put yourself into its seat and not to fight against anybody who is sincerely, passionately working for the realization of our dreams. Join together, come together. It doesn't matter where you are, where you come from. We are all one. Isoko Idoma, Ichekiri, Nembe, Akwa Ibom, Efik, Igbo, all of us, we are one people. Our leader have said it. He have demonstrated it. Do not buy the seat. Because the seat is the divide and rule. The seat is the division that have been planted among us. Please, let us all come together for this noble cause. Shield your thoughts against one another. Do not kill your brother. Do not envy your brother. Do not sell your brother. Do not sabotage your brother. Brother, let us come together and fight a common force and free ourselves and get our independence and get our nation. And like our leader said, only then can we come together on the round table and discuss the way forward. If we continue now to say we are transparency, we are that, and we are that, our leader said we can never get Biafra. We have to be pure in mind, pure in heart, simple, sincere, honest, united, loving. Only then can we get what we are looking for. And like I have always sang initially, the song of our fathers, the song of our heroes, gone before us, who are still there, looking upon us, giving us all the courage spiritually, fighting along with us to make sure that their story is not forgotten. Let us all unite to build this new nation, for divided will fall and united will stand. Let us take away our differences, for we are all one. Do not listen to traitors. The politicians, Ifeanyi Uba, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, can you hear the name? Ifeanyi Uba, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, they are the chief actors in the betrayal of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the betrayal, therefore, of Biafra. Ifeanyi Uba, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, who are still going around and going to confuse the Ezeri to endorse their tricks. This generation of Biafrans, I don't think we can do this thing with the fear. Our leader is fearless, he's bold, sincere, passionate, and we must copy him and make sure everyone standing on our road is crushed, no mercy. For the word of God said we should suffer the wicked. We should not, how did he say it, please, Inyima?
Suffer not the witch to live.
Suffer not the witch to live. We have to take them out of our way. We do not want them to come uniting with us because they will corrupt us. Because they are Fulani bloods. Because they are colonial masters' breeds. They have been bought to do their bidding. Do not give them that chance. Wherever you see them, crush them. I was very happy with the declaration of Simon Ekpa. I wish that is a sincere and true declaration, that declaration will be carried out in its details. To march even to the so-called capital of the zoo, and even to Lagos, to get us the head, the heads of our traitors. See, Uzodimba and all of them put together, all these politicians put together, wherever they are hiding, bring them out of their hidings and slaughter them. That is only when our land will be purified. That is only when we will march forward unitedly to get what we are looking for. I also would want to share, to say, well done to the calling for alliance with some of our African brothers. But let it not a call of alliance that will betray us. Oduduwa, we can see that is kind of alliance. I don't know if we hear about them again, but let it be a real alliance with one motive of freedom for the oppressed, of freedom for the cheated. The international community, most of them do not wish us well. And that is why they kept quiet. And they have been keeping quiet. Instead of defending the right of the oppressed, they continue to support the oppressors to destroy the oppressed the more. Rise up, this generation of Biafrans. Open your eyes and your ears and do not stand by and watch your brother killed or destroyed. Do not buy lies, because we love buying lies so much. Oh, Simon is killing our people. Oh, Simon is killing our people. That is the one we would buy. But who are there? We see Uzodimma, we see Oluwole, we see Ifanyoba, we see Ifanyejopo, we see all the politicians together killing our people. We have always said it with our eternal leader. Our eternal leader made it very clear to us, even during the war. They called us rebels. They called us all sorts of names. We were the aggressors rather than the victim. And that is still the mechanism they are using today. That is still the method. Say no to that. Let us get to this kingdom of God on earth with our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you very much for now. I am Silas Honor from Umuleka Igbo in the old Olo province of Biafra land. Share these messages, buy them, reflect on them, and use them, for they are words of truth and peace. Thank you very much.
God bless you, really good veteran. That's great.
Evening, morning or night, depending on where you are, that menace, that threat has been permanently put to bed. It will no longer happen. Should our people in Benue State be subjected to further attacks, I am also informing Governor Otom of Benue State. I will make sure that ESN returns to that very area or should I say, come out of the bushes to confront whoever comes against the children of the Most High God, Elohim in heaven. This is a warning to all of you. For those of you that specialize, should I say, in twisting the obvious, in turning truth into lies, I never claimed to develop Benue State. You people carved Igbo people into Benue, which is unacceptable. We are in an era, not that of the old, compromised and discredited Ohaneze and Igbo. Not in that very era. No, we are not in that anymore. We are not in the era of compromised governance in the pocket of the Fulani Caliphate. No, we are now in the era of IPOB, and no inch of territory belonging to traditional, should I say, ethnicities making up Biafra will be surrendered to anybody. No. And in Benue State, we have taught them, while they were discussing that, don't come to Benue, we are already on the ground in Benue State. And we are not in Benue State that doesn't belong to us. We are in Igbo parts of Benue State, Igbo communities of Benue State. And we are there to defend them. And that is precisely what we are going to do. And nobody is going to discourage us otherwise. We are making it very clear today that the Eastern Security Network is on the ground. We are on the ground in Benue State and in every part of Biafra for that matter. We are in Cross River, we are in Akwa Ibom, we are in Bayelsa. Everywhere it is happening. Anywhere we confront Fulani headsmen, these terrorists, we will drive them away. Be rest assured, we are not going to rest one iota until our farmlands, our homes, and our forests are secure. What is happening in Yoruba land cannot happen in Biafra land. Nobody, no idiot can come from anywhere to claim any inch or parcel of Biafra forest. It is not doable. Instead, we all die there. That is why I am making this presentation live, at least for those of you who may be able to come over on Instagram, that I am on Instagram and I'm live. If you want to see a live video of this very broadcast, it is there. You can and should be able to see it. Anywhere in Biafra land we confront Fulani terrorists, we shall meet them head on. We know that they are part of the police and the army. Danjuma himself, General T.Y. Danjuma himself, testified before the British Parliament that the army of Nigeria and the police are colluding in the conquest of indigenous populations in Nigeria. And we are no exception to that very horrible and sinister conspiracy. The police we have in our land are terrorists in uniform. The army we have in Biafra land are basically terrorists. They are there to aid and to support Fulani Janjaweed advancement to the Atlantic Ocean. And we are there to stop them. And we are stopping them and will continue to stop them. A few days ago, as I said, we embedded our men and women of the Northern Command of Eastern Security Network. When we said Northern Command, people were confused. Biafra land is a nation. We have Northern Biafra, we have Central, we have the South, which is the coastal region, we have the East, and we have the West. When I talk about the Northern Command, I'm talking about the northern part of Biafra land, which incidentally starts from Benue State. So we are right to be there. If you don't want us to be in Benue State, quietly go back to Abuja and appeal to them. Tell them to release Igbo people in Benue and carve them back into Ebonyi State, where they should belong, or Enugu State, as the case may be. Therefore, anybody, you know, one thing about Nigeria is that they tend to defend the aggressor. It is in the DNA in Nigeria to always support evil. That is why this very newspaper publication, I don't have a means of putting it here on Instagram where I am broadcasting live, where you can see my face and my facial expression, but it will be on my Facebook page. If you go there, you will see it. This publication was made on January 23 of 2021, this very year. It is a front page news by Vanguard. I want you to understand how an average Nigerian thinks, how they reason. Why I think that Nigeria itself is a curse upon humanity. There on the front page, you will see, we will kill all policemen and take over Edo State. Fulani Janjaweed. those they claim are foreigners. These people they told us are foreigners. They come from Mali, from Senegal, from Gambia, from heaven knows where, from Niger, from Chad, from Latin Americans. But they are in Nigeria, killing people. After killing us, they will not turn around and tell us to absorb them into our communities. That is why anybody, any Igwe, any PG, any greedy, avaricious fool, stupid enough to give any of our land to Fulani Janjaweed, you are finished. There was a man in Enugu that tried to say nonsense. Go and ask him where he is today. We take no prisoners. You see, the land of Biafra must be defended at all costs. At all costs. It is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody.
Mama Patricia, you prepared? We are no longer in the era of compromised Ohaneze and the Igbo politicians. We are no longer in the era of the compromised. The compromised, those who suppress the truth unrightfully to achieve their selfish interests, to achieve their selfish goals. That is the Ohaneze, and that is the Igbo politicians. Then the Ohaneze is the inclusion of the Igbo traditionalists. Unless otherwise, there are few remnants among them that are still men of integrity, of which I doubt. Certificates, politically certified traditional rulers. What kind of traditional rulers do you think they are? And that is the reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said we are no longer in that era of the compromised Ohaneze and the compromised Igbo politicians. Rather, we are in the era of IPOB. And no part of Igbo land should be surrendered to any other. We are in the era of IPOB. So you and I, even it may happen that you may be busy working, you were not, you did not watch this broadcast live, even though it is a February 2021 broadcast. There is the possibility you didn't listen to it live, or perhaps you did, of which I didn't. So, likewise, many other Biafrans and many also listen to it. However, when we talk about the IPOB, we begin to bring this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu statement and the remaining of it into the IPOB family. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is saying we are no longer in the era of the compromised Ohaneze, compromised politicians. I thought Chinasa Nworu had this voice. Chike doesn't have this voice. F1 had this voice. The so-called Biafra child, Norma, had this voice. Methuselah had this voice. All of the IPOB political solutionists, they have this voice. And today they are talking about cooperating with the politicians. If the politicians they want to cooperate, are they different politicians from the politicians Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is talking about? The elders they want to surrender us to submit to, are they different from the same Ohaneze? Or that is, or didn't they hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saying this? Or have they changed the politicians? Then if they have not changed the politicians, why should somebody who is really sound in his mind or her mind believe in political solution? Can you help me out? Can you help Biafrans, Mama Patricia?
Yeah, thank you, Colin. Is that not, wouldn't I call it madness? Madness.
Of the
We have
highest
come
order.
to, we have come to do business with mad people. That's what
Mm.
the situation is. These people that you just mentioned, they sat very well with Jesus, with Mars, just like Jesus and his disciples. Would as well ask, wasn't Judas there when he was doing everything that he was doing? He had all the preachings of Jesus, preaching of Jesus. Jesus washed the feet of the disciples, including his own. He gave them communion. He took, but the demon in them, from where they came from, cannot be erased out. That is why when Mazi said we have crossed the Rubicon, it entered their ear. They just went outside and said, this fellow here, what is he talking? And when they came say, Mayor, who is this small boy that will come and change the custom? You know, the evil custom, which they have grabbed so tight, refusing to let go. Is that not the same reason when the disciples, no, the Pharisees, those that were holding the 10 Commandments, all the things that God gave Moses and appointed them, it reached a point whereby they thought in themselves, we are now the lords of these people. We are going to tell them what they're supposed to do. Everything that God said, they turned it upside down because they are greedy, gluttony. They are just from the seed of the enemy. They asked Jesus, the Pharisees, why do your disciples do this? Why don't they do like our custom, like our elders have been doing? Just like we have the so-called elders with red barrets. And we forgot that these so-called elders with red barrets are the mixed multitude, are the blood of the Fulani. They are not with us, as Paul said. They are with us, but they are not part of us. They were implanted. That is why you don't remove them and everything that has to do with them. Follow the line and remove all of them. Even if we remove one person, the ringleader, so to say, their children, their relations, who didn't talk now against the evil they are doing, will raise up tomorrow to continue the same thing. They asked Jesus, why is your disciples not doing like our father's custom? And Jesus told them, why are you people changing the order from heaven, from God, for your own selfish, egoistic gain? So they had him very well. But they need to do like their fathers, They need to do like the seed of the enemy. They cannot change from it. There's nothing to be done to change these people. Today, tomorrow, or forever, nothing to be done other than to cleanse them total out. Because they had Moses talking, and in their mind, they were saying, when you finish talking, you go and sit down. Because we know the way we will do it. Chinasa, we heard him saying, we heard them disobey the commands of the so-called leader. But when the leader was talking, they were the ones telling him. Is it not the same Israelites that held Jesus when he was going to Jerusalem and said he must be a king? They want to make him a king by force.
By force.
And yes, and Jesus went out of them, said he knows the heart of all men. The same people that wanted to make him king, we are the same people that said, stone him, crucify him, crucify him. It is the same because they are never with the true seed. No wonder God decided to eliminate all. In fact, sometimes I do ask, are we more righteous than God? Are we more holier than God? Are we more powerful than God? Are we the creator of law, of every system that the world should go? Are we? It's God. He made all things before we came in, before he brought us here. And we are the people that will command him and tell him how it will be done. Is it not madness? When God gives the way things should be done, and men are doing another because they think they are smart, they are intelligent, they have arrived. No wonder he cleared all of them in the wilderness because they have had enough of such rain. And he decided to take only Joshua and Caleb to the promised land. 2 families. Now look at the number of Israelites. Can you count them? No. Or their power, or their intelligence, or whatever. No. So the same thing are with these people. They start with Mazu. And when Mazu was saying that we are done with the politicians, with the Ohanezes, knowing fully well that Mazu have seen what they did to Ojukwu, our general of blessed memory. They lured him into opening a party so that he would defend Biafra land. And our innocent, courageous, loving man that loves his people wants to do that, believing that these people are telling him the truth, not knowing that they are demons. And after opening the party, they abandoned him to go and join their enemies. No, not just their enemies, those that they came from them. They got
their ticket with him and now abandoned him.
Yes, that's the thing. Abandoned him and went over to their own people, because I believe, as we keep saying, these people are Fulani's blood, because if they are not, there's no reason why the blood speaketh more than water, however it's being put. Blood is thicker than water.
Blood is thicker than water.
Yeah, than water. So you cannot tell me that a Fulani will germinate this seed and tomorrow you come and speak on our behalf. No. You must follow the lineage where he came from. So the hard master said, we have crossed the Rubicon, that we have no business with the Ohaneze, because Ohanezes are not appointed by Biafrans. If they were appointed and breeded by the Fulanis and their British colonial terrorists, Britain, they send them to us. Oluwele, how did he come? All of a sudden, we just put Oluwele on the board. How did he grew up? So these people, for a long many years, they begin a plan, a project. They are very much patient, and they will be grooming the evil. They'll be like one. Is it a Ghana lady or where? It should be a Ghana lady that was interviewed by a Western journalist, and she was telling them, "You people will go and cook your venom, cook your viruses, cook your diseases, and after it's done, you bring it over to Africa, and Africa has Ebola. Africa has this. Africa. So you cooked it and bring it to us." So that is the same thing. They cannot be Igbo people blood to blood. They cannot be. These people, the DOS, they are doing like their father. Those governors or senators are part of their family. And they must have to. They were planted in. Spies planted in. Sometimes one brother was saying, how did Mazi got to all these groups to come and join him and give them posts? And after listening in that, I said, where were the good ones when these bad ones came? The good ones were somewhere else. Doing, I don't care. It's not my business. No, I don't want my name to be stained. No, I don't want to put my name in myself into this thing. That's what happened. Like one man said, or is it an adage? Bad things happen when good people do not talk. That's how it happened. And when the unrighteous rules in a nation, everywhere is mourning, crying, weeping, death. Every evil works freely. But when a righteous man rules, things are better. So what we are saying here, they had Mazi. We have crossed the Rubicon. They had him. We no more have business to do Ohaneze because it's not appointed by Biafran. It was appointed by the Fulanese and the British. Like they called Obi sometime and they signed some contract. Did we go there? No, let Obi come on to come and do his election of one Nigeria. Yet where is he now? All our games they play. So these people, Mazi, when Mazi was saying these things, the enemy were fast. They were clever. They sent them in. Go and stay behind him. Go and pretend you are with him. And at the end, we'll deal with him like Jesus was dealt. And we'll take over. That is the same thing. So anybody listening to these people up to this time, when we have had it clearly that even if an angel comes from heaven to tell you another story, let that angel be an anathema. Because, and we are still today seeing from Epulefus, listening to DOS, listening to their Iraq's messengers, trying to find fault from the one they see that is doing something, which is Simon Ekpa. Remember, you had enough of them when they were saying, I'm an agent of Nigeria. Nigeria put him to come and destroy our thing. Up till today, they are still saying he's an agent of Nigeria. When Nigeria themselves are crying that this man is giving them pepper in the eye. So who is really irredeemable and a fool here? Biafrans, there's no need to listen to these people no matter how they come from center, left, or right. We should be in a position now whereby we should remember the preachings of Mazi, like my colleague was saying. Didn't these people hear these things? Well, maybe some of them didn't hear it. Because when Mazi started it was in 2012 or 2010. I didn't hear him then. I came to hear him in 2016. Yes. But before then, he has been talking for many years. So the same thing, maybe these people didn't hear. That is why they even went further to block his messages, to remove his messages, so that people will be buried in ignorance. But thank God today, as we have seen it, you cannot bury truth. It must come up like a seed planted. It will come up on its own because God is in charge. The DOS, they had him, but they were not with him. And we keep asking, how did Mazi put them? Mazi was calling on, come, like God was calling, come everybody. The thieves, the evil one, everybody, they come in. But later God will do his selection. The same thing it is. Everybody came in. The good ones were not ready then. The evil ones are very much fast. You know, the Bible says the children of this world are wiser. They are wiser than the children of the kingdom. That is how they all came in. But now that we have come to the truth and every secret has been exposed, this is the time that we should dig them out and delete them. Because they are not for our own. If we keep spending, waiting, talking, we'll be all gone. Biafrans, we'll be all gone. You should know the truth, and the truth must and should set you that nobody will come with any jingle and sell you off. They have been bought, as they said it. So there's no truth in their lives because they are from their father, the devil. Thank you, Colin.
God bless you, really good. God bless you, that's wonderful. And great Biafrans. So we are in Benue to defend Igbo parts of Benue. So, no part of Igbo land should be surrendered to any other. That is what we are talking about. It is about defending our rights, defending our privileges, defending our fortunes, defending our properties, defending our territorial integrity. Nigeria government is a thief, is a thief government. The government for land grabbing. Look at what they are causing, taking some part of Igbo land, placing it in Benue State, only to be causing communal crisis. That is what they did between, is it Egbema? They call it Egbema, and they began to share Egbema into two. Egbema Imo State, Egbema River State, but the same Egbema, the same people, only to cause land crisis, only to cause communal crisis, and for them to be advancing their divide and rule. While in that Benue State, the Igbo part are being highly marginalized, and the Governor Autumn never had been doing anything to be protecting the indigenous Benue people. Even until today, the Fulanis still invade them and they kill as many as they want to kill and at will. Most of them have been in ID camp, is it called IB camp, for years, for a number of years now, for about 2-3 years, or some people below 1 year, and there is no resolution to that effect. And that is what they want to force us into, and we are saying no to us. And the Muslim, they kind of stating it categorically. If they do not want us to protect our people in Benue State, they should go to Abuja and demand that problem they have caused should be resolved immediately by removing the Igbo part, and most especially removing them from Benue State. However, even if they are removed, they are still part of us, and that is when we have the absolute authority over them. They are talking about insecurity, yet they do not talk about ending the Fulani terrorism in Benue State, in Plateau State, all over the Middle Belt, and in Biafra land, and all over the Nigeria wide. Is it not the same compromise Igbo politicians, compromise the politicians all over Nigeria that are allowing this insecurity in Biafra land, and people are telling me political solution, telling me ending of insecurity. Those who have caused the insecurity are talking about ending insecurity. What kind of madness is that? Now, veteran, take the microphone. Mazia said, we are in all Biafra states to confront and to drive away Fulani terrorists. That is the mission of the ESN, protecting our territorial integrity and driving away the terrorists, starting from the Fulani terrorists and the rest of the terrorists. Is there anything wrong with that? Then those politicians who say he is wrong, what have they been doing to accomplish this mission of confronting and driving away the Fulani terrorists with the inclusion of other terrorists? They themselves are terrorists. So of course them are a terrorist, a state terrorist. He said, Danjuma testified that Nigerian army and police collude for the conquest of the Fulanis in Nigeria. Then how can they convince intelligent people to believe that those Nigerian police and Nigerian army are security over us? Those who are colluding, working with the Fulani terrorists to continue to conquer us, invading our land and taking us over, these are the people they still impose on us as a security. What have they been securing since ever then? Veteran, take the microphone. The purpose of the ESN. The purpose of the ESN. Then, what has the Nigerian security in the guise of police and army, what have them been securing since ever then?
Thank you, my humble colleague.
God bless you.
It baffles me so much. It baffles me so much when I see and hear this generation of Biafrans still buy into the deceit of the so-called DOS and their media. It baffles me so much. Like my sister said, only Caleb and Joshua were the elders that entered into the promised land. That is to say, God made sure that all the evil elders and their generations that never spoke out, that never condemned the evil of their fathers and their fathers' fathers, all of them, God made sure they perished. They never set their foot on his nation because it's a nation of God and not nation of man. So also, our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was given that message, was given that inspiration, was given that revelation that all the elders that constitute traitors, those elders that called their children terrorists, the indigenous people of Biafra were called terrorists by their fathers, by those who claim to be their spokespeople, by those who claim to be their leaders, the elite. They called their own terrorists. The indigenous people, they called terrorists. Because they want to continue to go to Abuja and to come back with dirty palliatives. You come back home, they compromise this or whatever they are called. We say, I just show you a chief time. On 180, Buru Ochiro and I will hear you like frogs. So they are the only executive. No other citizen. They are not interested in the rising of their own. Not interested in the comfort of their own. Not interested in the well-being of their own. And yet, this present generation continue to buy into their stupid ideas. I said it before. This generation of Biafrans, it is only the pure, the truthful, the sincere of the time of Israel that inherited the promised land with Joshua and Caleb. All the rest that we are insincere, dishonest, untruthful, compromising, gluttonous, they perished. So will all of you who carry out the same attitudes perish. It is not a cause that I'm telling you the truth. That as many of you as go to collect these palliatives from Ifanyoba, from Ifanyim, Ejiofor, from the so-called self-made Ohaneze, from the so-called imposed traitors who call themselves governors, from the so-called politicians who at the time of election will kill so many and buy so many over. There have never been any time since I was young and now I am old. I've never seen any true election in Nigeria. Nay, BIAFRA. And we will not want that to happen. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is so bent to work for God and build a true state of God. Help God to build his true state, not him building. And this evil man continue to put rod in his words. Not only we are the bent to stop it, they are bent on killing anyone who buys the same idea, who buys into this truth. You can see how loving, how truthful, how kind that messenger of God is. To go in search of his brothers wherever they are scattered. Wherever they are scattered for selfish purposes. By the evil terrorists, colonists. Britain, who continue to supervise the killing of the indigenous people through their messengers, the Fulanis. The Fulanis at the time were simply idiots. They knew nothing. And look at us. How are the mighty fallen? Who were claiming the Igbos, who were claiming to be the most intelligent. Now we are the most foolish, most stupid of all men, most miserable of all men. That's who we are. Because we refuse to fight for the truth. We refuse to identify with the truth. We refuse to identify with God. We refuse to work for God. We refuse to liberate our people from slavery, from misery, from pain. We want to continue with the devil, to kill our people, to slaughter our people, and to come out to shout, point accusing fingers on innocent people as though they were the people doing all these things. This noble man of God had to take his life, had to sacrifice himself build a security which you could not build. A security to defend his people. A security to bring meaning to the lives of his people, the indigenous people. A security to bring hope to his people, the indigenous people. A security to make sure that the youth, the generation of Biafra of today realizes their dreams, fulfills their God-given talent. Come out from mental slavery. Come out from physical slavery. Come out from emotional slavery. Come out from psychological slavery, which Britain has perpetrated through their messengers, the non-entities, the Fulani, and their blood in Biafra land. But one thing is sure, it doesn't matter how much you scatter us. Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, have reinstated them. There are no two Ebema. Ebema is one. There are no two Izombe. Izombe is one. There are no two Ihamufu. Ihamufu is one. There are no two Ibanke. Abudu. There are no two equal chance. We are all one and one. What crime has this man committed? I am asking you, this present generation of Biafrans, what crime has your leader committed? When you were hailing him, Ohamadike, Savior, whatever name, now where are you? Where are you? Are you disappointment? He stood for you and he is standing for you. Can you not stand with him and realize that kind gesture, that loving gesture? For he so loved you and he still loves you. Otherwise, he will not take his life. Otherwise, he will not want to die for you. Otherwise, he would has given up like others and become a stinkingly wealthy man. But he vows to you. His vows to you are true. And you claim you took oath, you took vows. Where are you? The oath, so-called oath members. Where are you? The structuralists. Where are you? The seat, that's who you are. The seat. You, the members of DOS. You, the lawyers of the indigenous people of Biafra. You, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, who had to go and hire another lawyer because you were a judge and bail lawyer. You know not your right from your left. You, Ifeanyi Uba, the ritualist, the dirty man, evil man. That's how your father stood against Jim Odumegwu. And you have come out again to stand against the restoration of this noble nation. You, Abaribe, who pretended to be our man, lo and behold, you were hiding on the cloak of the devil, wearing the sheep's clothing and being a wolf. No wonder then you were not. I told them, this man that is talking with a carrot in his mouth. Listen to this voice now. Listen to this voice. Give them what they ask. Oh, you are not a part of it. Oh, listen to this voice. Talking with a potato in your mouth. You, the so-called elites and politicians, gangsters. The devil said you will make yourselves miserable and not the indigenous people. You cannot continue to make the indigenous people miserable. For as that machinery, Lamido, said on your behalf that the elite of the zoo have reduced the citizens, the indigenous people, to miserable people. And so they can never unite. They will always compromise. They will always run after palliatives and kill each other in the process. It is a pity if you, this generation of Biafrans, do not reason. If you continue the way you are, without chasing out the real enemies from amongst you, because begin with your Kenanulo, chase them out, kill as many as you can. And others will run for their life wherever they want to run to. And you can see, this is what our leaders say, that the colonialists used the desperate ones, those that were chased out. Ibanyoba and Co. These are the desperate ones. They want to be one Nigeria by all means. Ibanyoba, I continue to mention this name because they are the architects of what is happening in IPOB. I don't care how they misled, because no one can be misled who does not want to be misled. People come to defend the Chike. People come to defend the Chinasa Muru. People come to defend the wife of Onyendu. People come to defend the brother. All these people that sold him, that ganged up to stop this noble movement. You continue to identify with them. Isn't it? This new generation of Biafra. You continue to identify with these lies, with this evil, rather than coming together, rather than telling these people that they are liars. You can come together, you can unite, and you know what you want, and you will go for what you want. It is very sad. I know. Come back to your senses. Come back. Come together. Fight together. And after fighting, but now we have to fight. Fight our enemies in and out. Then we know how to share it. That is what our leaders told us. Let us get Biafra. And we come to the round table to discuss the way forward. Stop this dissipation of energy. Stop this dissipation of energy. For it will lead us nowhere. Stop this critics. Stop this Simon America. Hey, sit at home America. Hey, that time this one. This time that one. Digo, Jim Manganobo. Let us follow the course. No one is perfect. No single man, even you, who is criticizing, you are not perfect. When you go in there, you will do like the DOS, who has sold their master and now wants a political solution. And now saying that without the politicians, you cannot get Biafra. You need a book on for saying such a thing. We will go with the politicians. With the politicians. Politicians meaning to get to Biafra. Bastard. Because onion do have going on before. Up going on. And that Araga born in note. You will go mad. To your shame and disgrace. All of you who are working against this noble cause. Hey, he's not IPOB member. Hey, he's not. You who are the IPOB member, an old member, the structure member. What have you done? Come out and tell us. Rather than fighting against who is working. What you should be doing is telling their friends. Look at it. Since the Kanu was captured, was kidnapped and rendition. Look at what we have done. Look at what we have done. Look at what we have done. Then we will reason with you. But you have not done anything. You are only destroying everything he left down. And yet you call yourself the oath member. Hey. Look at you, just fool. Thank you. Let me lay it there for now. Collins, I hand over the mic to you.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you, veteran. God bless you. Very great and wonderful of that your commentary. The zoo must fall. They will never have rest, since they have seized the rest of the innocent Biafrans and the innocent of the rest of the indigenous people. The Westerners shall no longer have rest anymore. All of the oppressors all over the world should no longer have rest anymore, because people must know the truth, because they have been taking advantage of the ignorance, unawareness of the people, and the people, the docility. But at this time, people are becoming proactive. This is the time to transfer the power back to the people, the power that have been hijacked by these oligarchs, these globalists, disguising themselves in different ways, aiming at depopulating humanity, destroying the futures of people whom they never created because they are not God, but because Satan is working through them. People who had given themselves up giving themselves up to Satan, selling their soul to the devil, that they have no repentance in them, and they become heartless and without conscience. They do whatever they want to do, and they do not care who feels the pains of their activities. They don't care who dies. They don't care who lives. They don't care how people are being robbed, the emotional pains and the rest of pains people suffer as a result of their satanic government, all because they have made themselves satanic instruments in their various offices, in their leadership, and against humanity. So we are going to talk about foreign Fulanis in our land. Mama Patricia, are you ready? Foreign Fulanis in our land. Foreign Fulanis invade our land, killing our people, and they are asking us to accommodate them, to appease them. So, veteran, do you have anything to say regarding that? Since Mama Patricia is not ready. What do you have to say about the foreign Fulanis who are foreigners, who are not indigenous in the first place, coming from wherever they come from, invading our land, killing our people, destroying things belonging to us, and the Britain, the Nigerian government, and the rest of the satanic agents asking us to accommodate them, to appease them? Is there any sense in it? What do you have to say for that? Just be brief about it.
Hey, my brother, there are different ways of accommodating. If you come to me with a sincere heart, with an open heart, with an honest heart, with the truth. When you come to me transparently, I will accommodate you. There's no crime in accommodating somebody who is transparent. After all, we are all here abroad. We are accommodated, but we have to respect the laws of the land. We have to abide by the laws of the land. We don't have to come and fight the ownership of the land with the owners. No, it is not done. You come and you obey and you stay where you are given to stay. I'm not coming to dictate for me, the owner of the land. I'm not coming to lord it over me, the owner of the land. I'm not coming to, my God, it is very sad. First and foremost, you may not have come through the right road. You may not have satisfied the conditions, and yet you come in to do the bidding of those who sent you. Because they were sent, they didn't come on their own. They were sent to come and distract, to come and destroy, to come and disorganize. So they cannot be accommodated. When people come with that kind of mind, they should not be accommodated. They should be sacked. They should be sent back. So, the Fulani, who are not even a percentage of the population, cannot come and lord it over the indigenous people, to command the indigenous people. That our that less than 1%. The indigenous people, no, attack every person everywhere. Attack on the Hausa, attack on the parts of Yoruba, attack on Benue. Buwasha the indigenous people into parts, so as to be able to enter into them and also sack them. Because when they share into parts, then they will be able to enter. Because already the divide and rule is there, the communal conflict is there, the brotherly conflict is there. The town's conflict is there. Am I under this? Which one can is it? So this is how they enter. Why those who send them continue to loot? Come with their submarine to carry away as many crude oil as they want. Submarine. That is what the British is good at. That is their own technology. Submarine. They go under the sea, through the depths of the sea, steal whatever they want to steal without being noticed. It's not that they are not noticed, because there are instruments now to see them even at that unfathomable depth of the sea. These machines will go there and see them. But they close their eyes to it, because they are working for them. So how can you accommodate such people? How can't you write and tell them, go away, we have had enough of you? Both they and their messengers, and their messenger, because you have Britain and they are globalists. Now you have the Fulani that are the major strangers you have. And then you have their blood that is among the indigenous people, who they use. Like our leader said, that the conquering of Arochukwu was by those rejected, desperate people. So this is what it is. These are the sons, these are the children that are still troubling us today. These children of the desperate and the dejected and the rejected people of the land. They are still the ones troubling us. So we cannot accommodate. It is devilish accommodating those who are your enemies. Devilish accommodating your enemies. Because
Mama,
they come in.
Mama, have you been available?
Okay. Yeah.
Mama,
and so declare that they are enemies. So, like our leader said, where are the customs? Where are the immigration? Why are these people still trooping in through our boundaries? The boundaries there are open. Why the boundaries this way are closed? What is the motive behind it? So, you don't accommodate enemies. Enemies are sent packing. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Okay. So, can you hear us, Mama Patricia?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Then, what is your take on the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu complaining very bitterly and as one of the reasons for the formation of ESN, which is the Fulanis who are not indigenous to us, they are foreigners, they are not even indigenous as in Nigeria, they came from elsewhere and they come to invade our land, killing our people, destroying properties belonging to us, including raping our women shamefully. And the Britain, the Nigerian government are asking us, including the compromised Igbo politicians Ohaneze, asking us to accommodate them, to appease them, to accommodate terrorists in our midst, to appease them. Do you see any sense in it? So what is your take regarding that? When you conclude, just conclude briefly, you present the memory verse of the day.
Okay, thank you.
God bless you.
Our leader, the prophet of God, knows what it means to live with snake or to live with Satan. Nobody lives with Satan. Nobody lives with snake. Nobody lives with even fire. These three things are the examples of the Fulanese, Misuria, and the British or the Western world. You don't live with a group of entities that has come only to kill, steal, and destroy you, your identity, your race, that hates you from their DNA forever. How do you live? How do you begin to think of living with such people? Do you know God in the Old Testament, which is what Biafran culture or belief and everything is made of? In the Old Testament, he told the Israelites not to mingle with any of their neighboring countries, especially those that are evil worshippers, demonic worshippers and all that kind of stuff. The Ammonites, the Bezrites, and all that kind of the countries that was mentioned. God was telling Israelites, these people have violated the law of nature. These people worship evil, idol. And I don't, in fact, them staying in this land is turning what I have created for nature to be. So therefore, I'm going to remove them and give you the place. But make sure you don't repeat what they did, because if you repeat what they did, that made me to remove them to bring you people because they don't want staying there. I will do the same thing to you people, which means don't have any of their systems, nothing of their system. Don't copy. Don't befriend them because they will wash your brain up. Don't have anything to do with, nothing absolutely, not even in business. Talk less of living close. And now what happened? One of these neighbors came subtly, pretended, that is the nature of the Fulani, how they conquered the Hausa land. Pretended to be among them, pretended to be peaceful. Because if you look at the Islamic religion, they will say Islam is peace. You can tell me where peace is. People that chop hand and leg and that is stones a woman. Fingers and toes. Stones drawn alive. What peace is their religion? People that want to force their wicked worshipping into you. Christianity is not like that. What do you have to do with such a people to live as neighbors? You don't. You give them million, billions distance. You have to deal with those people. If there's no way you can eliminate them, let them stay on your coast. And these people pretended in the Bible, pretended to be good people, to be peacemakers. And they had to deceive Joshua. And he went into agreement with them. The moment they finished making the agreement, their eyes opened that they have done the worst thing in their life. And that is how all their problems started. Because of not focusing, because of not retaining the commandment given to them, because of leaving the God that brought them out to worship idols, to worship demons. So, anybody coming to tell us that we should live with these people, the British government, we know they put them there because they know what those people are. They are in the same patrol with them. They come to kill and steal and take people's land. That's what the British came to do. So they mixed themselves together and decided to do this business, this project of destroying their children of God and taking their land. That is why up till now, you see how they went into partnership, sharing the wealth of Biafra. Why the gold in Zamfara, nobody is touching it. However they do it and get their money to go and buy weapons, only them and Britain know. But the one in our land, they put them as terrorists to be killing us so that they will maintain the leadership, the government authority to be in their hands. That is what is going on. So Britain cannot come and tell us to harbor them. Why don't they harbor them in their own place? Why don't this Western world that are sending chaos, problem, terrorists to the African continent, why don't they harbor them? Why do they put them in prison? Why do they block their borders? Why do they make a visa very impossible for the African countries? They would have let it open so that they will not flow in. But they will still get it. They will get it back. But what I'm telling us, Biafra, we don't need to have anything to do with these people. Mazi said, we are not together, we are not the same. We can never be. How do you mix oil with water? It can never be. So there's no point telling us, let's harbor them, let's keep them. Even to come and do business in our land, we don't even need them. Business will be at a very far place, not close. If there's anything they have at all that we need, I don't think. So we don't need them. We don't need to have business with them. They don't need to live with us because that's how they come as if they are peaceful. And by the time you go to bed to sleep, they will burn you inside your house. They will chop your wife and children and daughters and rape them. What are we doing with such a race? Lost race. Vagabond. Come see them by God, though. Not by human beings. Because of their nature. Let's forget these people that we don't need it. That's why they are trying to hurry up and get rid of this serpent, this virus from our midst. And anyone who is still mingling with them through marriage or through business, we should delete all of them together. Let them go. Let's go to our memory verse, please.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Memory verse of the day. Exodus chapter 14, verse 15 to verse 18. Exodus 14, verse 15 to 18. Say, no. Oh, I've made a mistake. Exodus 14 and from verse 15 to 18.
Yeah, 14, 15, 18.
Okay. The Lord will fight for you, and you should hold your peace and remain at rest. I'm reading from Amplified Bible. Verse 15 says, the Lord said to Moses, why do you cry to me? Tell the people of Israel to go forward. Lift up your rod and stretch out your hands over the sea and divide it, and the Israelites shall go on dry ground through the midst of the water. Behold, I will harden, make stubborn and strong the heart of the Egyptians, and they shall go into the sea after them, and I will gain honor over Pharaoh and all his hosts, his chariots and horsemen. The Egyptians shall know and realize that I am the Lord when I have gained honor and glory over Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen.
All right.
Thank you, Kali.
God bless you, really good.
From where we just read now, as always, we don't close our Sunday school lesson or class without getting the food for thought from the Word of God. This is not our word. This is the same word of the Creator. And this is the same word that Mazi tells us the laws of nature, the laws of God. This is what is shaping us, what will equip us and make us great men. This is the word. And today, we have read from Exodus 14 from 15. The story, I'm sure that most and every one of us knows it anyway, because we are children of God. Things we know them already. That even the so-called missionaries that came before the time that they colonized Africa, they know that we are worshippers of the true God. They know that we are people who have democracy and the laws are from here. So what are we saying here? Israel, that is our sister, because we are the same with them. The two races that God has picked out to establish righteousness, dignity for mankind. That's why Mazi always says that we are the beacon of life, to many Africans, to all Africans, to all black race, and to the world in general. Because we have the truth, we have the understanding. But the white men came and destroyed it. And today we are following shadows, worshiping idols. Now here, Israelites that have been in bondage for many years, 400 years, and suffering in the hands of the Egyptians. A time came when God said it is time. Moses go and deliver them. Even in the deliverance, it wasn't easy. And here we just read, when they reached the Red Sea, because I don't want to go along the whole story. You read it, we have said the place where you can find it, Exodus 14. And they saw a sea that could not make them to go neither left nor right. And they started crying. Everyone crying and lamenting. Moses would have left us in Egypt, at least we will die and then we'll be buried. Here in the water, how are we going to do? And that was when God told Moses, this is not time to be crying, or time to be lamenting, or time to be weeping, or time to be shouting, or time to do whatever you may think, which we are doing now. That is not the time. This time is not time for us to sit back and be crying, clapping our hands. What are we going to do? These Fulanis are killing us. Our lands are burnt. Business is destroyed. And yet they come to tell you they want to do empowerment. That Mazi told them about economic empowerment in BIAFRA land. Just yesterday or so, Those who are doing economic empowerment have to burn down economic empowerment of a man who built his house many years back when he was young. Now the man is about 80 years or more. They have burned the house down. Economic empowerment. This man wasn't part of the a politician for governors and those people that have been looting the resource in Biafra land. He's not part of them. Out of his sweat, he built this house for his children. Now they have burnt it down. So we cannot be in this time shouting and lamenting or trying to find fault. Fulanis don't find fault with their own. They agree in one thing. In fact, if any of them comes to talk another thing, they say this thing has backslided. They'll delete the person quickly. Why our people here, we are still here talking. If not talk, we come and fight ourselves. Do we think that this is the time for it? God told Moses, why are you crying unto me? This is not the time for you to cry. What are you holding in your hand? Use it. Use it. That is why we don't need to wait for many hours to be brought to us from anywhere. Moses said, our prophet said, no country is coming to help us. The same way we did it in 1967, for 3.5 years, we stood many countries of the world, produced our own equipment, went with boldness, with passion. Moses said we have to be fanatic about Biafra and defend Biafra at all costs. That is the same spirit that we need. Even if you have catapult or one machete, whatever you have, so long as you are standing like neighbor, you are standing with the spirit of Mazi, those who have vowed to retain the promise of God, the land that He has given to our ancestors. Your truthfulness, your sincerity, your heart pure and obedience to what God has handed over to us to maintain our inheritance, not to sell it out like Esau did. The power, the glory that will be before you will make your enemies to fall before you. We will speak to them at the gate, they will shiver. But because we are not listening to the signs on the wall, to the many doors God has opened for us, oh, we have lazied too much. We have lazied too much. Is it because of the hunger? What can bread be in comparison to your freedom, to your generational life of your children and everything? Esau did it, it didn't go well with him. Cain did it, it didn't go well with him. Sodom and Gomorrah did it, nothing. Please, my dear friends, this is not the time to be lamenting and finding fault or be calling God. God sent David. In fact, David went to see his brethren that were on the war front. And he saw how all the men were see 50 men, but there's nothing in them. 50 ladies. All they know is fashion. And David saw this and he said, no, this is not our culture. Our culture says that we should be the head and not the tail. We should be prince on horse, not with foot, not on foot. David tried to say, no, we cannot allow this ganja weed, uncircumcised Philistines, to come to our land and pollute it and point finger at our eyes and noses. And when God saw the determined spirit, He gave him power. And He used only the catapult to send the enemies in disarray. He did it when he was 17 years, David. He did it also when he went out. He has grown. He pursued his enemies. Why are we sitting still and our enemies are just putting fire and the sharp things in our eyes? And we are here complaining, singing, praying when it's not the time to pray. There's time for everything, my Biafra. Here says, God says, why are you crying unto me? What is in your hand? Use it against your enemy. And Moses used it. And the enemies disappeared. They were even swallowed up in the sea. So, Biafra, if we must be delivered, if we must have victory, if we must conquer, we have to go back to what our leader told us. He has announced it, he has said it, and we cannot go otherwise. If you think you can get our Biafra through any other means, if not your devoted, determined, courageous way, your hands must be pure, clean, your heart the same. You must be in love with Biafra, like the book of Psalms says, Jerusalem, if I forget you, let my tongue cleave unto the roof. We must love our Biafra. We must love it, and we don't want it to be contaminated or even frustrated with unclean. The Fulanis are unclean, they are infidel. So we allow them to get back to us all those rubbishes. Why they stay as if they don't have any stain in them. We allowed them. We are all here to fight and get our land as Mazi. Up to this time, he will fight until the end. Mazi doesn't fight to go back like a frightened dog behind his tail. No. He fights and the enemies, they know of it. So if we are the children of the lion that Mazi is, why are we being scared? Why are we still crying and praying? Listening to fake prophets like I saw Kumuyi, who said, let's forget about the past. Let's look onto Tinubu, because God will use him to put the Nigeria well. Those are the Nigeria he's addressing to. I'm sure he wasn't addressing to Biafra. So why would Biafrans go to buy some such rubbish? Tinubu has been praying for Nigeria from the time he was a young man. He has been praying until where the dead Buhari's wife went. What do they call it again? Dubai. Dubai has become another New York. Tinubu and the rest of them that have been sucking and looking. And now, the Kumuyi said, we should trust and pray. While they are praying, their houses, their churches are burnt with the people inside. He has not come to say anything. Biafra, quit going to these churches. Get yourself armed, catapult or knife or whatever you have, even stick, and defend yourself. When God sees your determination, He will turn the defeat into victory. It's not time to be crying and lamenting or looking for who is not doing it well and who is. It's time that you join together wherever you can. Defend that area. Send the vagabonds to judgment, not to anywhere, because them in the police, them in mosque, in any way they all the same. We have to go to them one after the other and delete them. Because that's what they are doing in our land. That's what their foundation is. That's what they are told to do. The agenda is. Then why should we be praying and become more righteous than God and more holier than God and much loving? We want to show the world, oh, we are such a lovable people. That's what we want to show the world. Start to love. You should show it to your sister and brother near you. So that when you see the terrorists in uniform or in mufti beating them, you come out and show that love and defend your brother and fight against your enemy. That's why you should show the love. But your enemy, you don't show that love. Because I've come to kill you. You have to kill to maintain your peace and security. Biafran, get up. Those of you who are in this struggle with the mindset of being boss, being given money to build hotels, to live in a very large place. I hope you remember the story of Cain. Remember the story of Judah and the rest of them. God is a perfect avenger and a perfect judge. God will not allow the wicked to live or to have peace. Whatever you're doing, you think you have the power to do it. This is God's time. As he said Moses, so he said President of the camp, and people have, sold him off. Those the DOS with him. And now in the hand of Mazi Simon Emma, the PM now, government, Biafra government in exile. Let's all join hands and support what he's doing. Where he goes wrong, we advise him, we call him back. But let's cover our nakedness and fight together to gain our land. No more crying and complaining and weeping. Maz even said it. It's not me saying it. I don't say anything here that I'm just saying. No, because I don't have any knowledge except the one that Maz impacted in us. And our eyes got open. Let's join together. Remove everything that is evil in you and within you, around you. Greediness, ego. You have to do it so that they will see who you are. Humble yourself. Have the spirit of mercy. That's the spirit of wisdom. That's the spirit of victory. That's the spirit that rides over your enemy. Whiter than white and whiter than snow. Fanatic about Biafra. Defender of humanity and God's law of freedom. Thank you, Biafra. We end it here. Join the club. Join the band. Take up your arms. Defend yourself because it is legitimate. Biafra cannot be exchanged for anything. It's our life. It's our identity. It's our religion. It's everything God has handed over to us. Never to play that role. We are to play. It doesn't matter who is there before us. Thank you until next week. May God bless us and keep us forward.
So God bless you, great Biafrans. Great Biafrans, bye for now. We will meet again by the grace of God from around 4 o'clock in the evening, just a week today, for the update